What are some rules you are never told but society expects you to follow? You have to look busy in the office when working even when you've completed all your assignments. Seats in an office class. They may not be assigned, but everyone pretty much sits in the same seat every day as an unspoken rule. While it may not be illegal, you're not supposed to drive around a roundabout an unlimited number of times. When someone above you at work tells you to be honest, you fucking lie. To not maintain eye contact at a urinal. In Reddit society, you never ask for another user's handle. Every Redditor I have met in real life, including the 40+ that I met at the get-together last weekend, never have I heard a single person say, "What's your username?" It's great, I love it. If you see someone you know, but only barely, you have to do the little nod and this very tiny smile if they see you. If you're at an entrance, you let people out before going in. The rules of traffic are also consistent with sidewalks. Don't fucking walk into oncoming traffic or spread your posse to the width of the sidewalk preventing others from getting around. Dibs on everything. Everything is on first come first served basis unless otherwise stated. Parking lot spaces. Restaurant and bar seats. A girl or a boy you pick up on a bar. If you don't want to hang out with someone, you don't actually say it. You're expected to excitedly exclaim yes. We definitely need together soon. And then ignore the person. Don't spit in your hand before you shake someone else's hand. Eye contact when talking. That when people buy drinks for everyone, it's expected that everyone partaking should do the same. Seems obvious, but when I was 19, drinking age in Canada, some people went out for drinks after work, summer job, and one guy paid for the drinks and I was like, hey, wow, thanks man. And didn't know that you're supposed to take your turn to buy a round. I guess it's just part of growing up, figuring this stuff out, lol. Don't use your roommate's special souvenir type mugs. It seems okay to use people's plates, glasses, silverware, but mugs are off limits. Most people don't want the blunt truth. You have to be tactful and sugarcoat things. Head nod down for acquaintances. Head nod up for buddies. When you see a dog, you have to tell him he's a good boy, neither your highest pitch or deepest pitch. You do not, and I repeat, you do not have one of your chats with your buddies in front of doors or in the middle of the staircase. I don't know how many times you need to get hit by the door or stink-eyed by everyone else to get this. You don't push people into pools since everyone has a cell phone, unless you're willing to replace it. Unless necessary, don't go to the urinal right next to someone else. If you live with roommates, rinse out your dishes. Apparently standing quite close to people in a queue and smelling them while whispering you smell like freshly laid road tar is considered rude, creepy and arrestably inappropriate. Well, apparently it's illegal to not wear pants to the post office while brandishing silly putty in a threatening manner. Country's going to hell, I swear. In line at the store, if the person behind you only has an item or two, let them go ahead of you if you have a ton of stuff. How to end a phone call. I still haven't figured that one out. Don't mind straight down. If you see a friend with a baby, you are obligated to say that baby is so cute. Face the door of the elevator. Walk on the right side of the path. Personal space requirements depend on the society and level of body odor. Eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches jelly side up. Always order a vegetarian pizza when the group size is more than 10 people, even if nobody is a vegetarian. Shaking hands. Don't poop in the shower. Leave one urinal in between. Wear pants. Sitting on a bus or train, if it's mostly empty, do not sit near another person you do not know. If it's mostly full and you must sit near a stranger, do not take up more space than necessary. Keep your bag in your lap and make room for other people. Being young means that people don't take you seriously, especially if you're more experienced in a certain subject. I know kids are dumb, but they have more learning potential than most adults, and some kids are even better than adults in certain tasks. Obviously kids shouldn't be treated like adults because they are not fully developed, and in some cases it can be illegal, pedophilia, but society should treat kids with more respect, especially since they will run the world when they grow up. No peeing on children. You're expected to lie to be nice. I was never told this as a child, and still struggle with being brutally honest to this day. Also, that when someone asks you how your day is going, they don't really care, and you're just supposed to reply good and move on. Call before you come to my house. My European in-laws stop by whenever they please and it drives me crazy. If you walk into an empty bathroom, you have to choose an odd number urinal so if someone else walks in you don't have to stand next to each other. Respecting elders just for the fact that they were born before us. Don't shit in a supermarket aisle. Apparently that rule is hard to obey. Don't date your friend's ex. Paying an income tax. Tipping. Gender norms. Men are expected to look and act in certain ways. Women are expected to look and act in certain ways. People like to claim it's all about how we are biologically evolved, but the fact that gender norms and double standards have changed drastically over the centuries and is very different depending on what part of the world you live in goes to show that culture and society dictates a lot of this. Sacrifice your health to make money. Always stand on the right side on the escalator. A certain level of personal space. Like obviously don't touch people, but you also shouldn't sit directly next to someone you don't know if there are other places available. I'm not supposed to cry or show any emotion. If I do, I'm told to man the fuck up or quit acting like a little bitch. Most social rules governing acceptance belonging are never explained. Nobody tells you how to hold a mutually engaging conversation or groom yourself enough to be around. You just kinda faff about being rejected until you figure it out. Don't laugh along on a joke. It's cringe. So many rules. I no longer recognize the world we live in. Don't fart in an enclosed space. Don't pee on the stool next to another guy unless there is no other option. If the bus is empty, never sit next to someone else. Don't walk too close behind somebody else, especially at night time. Apparently licking other people's cats isn't cool, but those same cats licking you is a-okay. I call bullshit. Unless you have no other choice, do not stand beside somebody else at a urinal. That being said is a bad thing and sadness should not be expresses. Don't look at another man in the eyes when you are pissing in the urinal. Dropped phone call protocol. If you are on the phone with someone and the connection drops, the person who initially called should call the other person back while that other person waits. Otherwise you're both dialing at each other and getting busy signals voicemail. Stand on the right side of the escalator, move on the left side. You can't take the money out of the fountain. At the laundromat. If someone using either a washer or dryer leaves the premises to run errands and their load is done, those waiting a turn for an available machine should not touch other people's stuff unless it sits there for a long time, tying up use of the machine. That you are supposed to hold the fork in your left hand and the spoon in your right hand while eating spaghetti. Why? Why the fuck is it so, and why the fuck nobody told me that before? Was really uncomfortable in my last business trip to find this shit out. Look at other people in the urinal. In Toronto, when using an escalator, you either stand to the right or walk on the left. No peeing in the sink. Don't pooped in pubic. Don't scream anybody wanna fuck ? In public. People got really high standards now. You have to poop. To not touch someone's ass. If you see someone you don't know and they think they know you, smiles, nods, that kind of stuff, just pretend and act like you are that person they think you are. Don't shit on the dinner table. Swimsuits are a must at a beach, unless FKK. I have never seen a sign about it, but it's implied and you will get fined if you go commando. When at a urinal. Unless there is no other spare urinals, you always leave the space of at least one urinal, or if it's a long trough like one, the space of at least one man. When a guy offers to help you carry something, you let them do it. Whether you really need the help or not, At least, that's what my mom told me when I rebuffed the assistance of a family friend's son. If small talking, you're supposed to wait for a lull in the conversation before you both can move on. I don't like to follow this rule. When I'm done with the conversation, I'm walking away. Pants. Don't helicopter your dick in an elementary school. Don't wipe your dick on stuff. Don't stand around at a doorway or at the end of stairs. Mostly for my local Chinese places. If you eat at a restaurant that has a butter statue, you run the belly when you're done eating. If they have a toothpick mint fortune cookies etc., you grab one of each on the way out. You eat the fortune cookie before you read the fortune to show good faith toward the fortune, and eat nothing afterwards until you leave, enter through a doorway and out of a different place. The one that cooks doesn't wash the dishes. To follow all the rules. Leave a one urinal space between men in the bathroom. If you walk into a meeting you have to say hi to everyone. Everybody hates this, but not grabbing the last hors d'oeuvre because you might look greedy. Even though everyone wants it. It's 2019 and of course I have to say the correct gender pronouns. Wearing clothes in public. You shouldn't talk on the phone or text someone while you're being evaluated by a doctor. And if the doc is asking you a question or explaining something, do not hold your finger up and say just a sec, I am almost finished with this text. Pretty much anything to do with farting. People don't even like to say the word in public. I've heard more people say cunt in public than fart. I don't know if it applies to all, but as a teacher, we were expected to act perfect and we know everything. Elevator etiquette. Until you hold the door open for all the people streaming out of the mall on Black Friday or Boxing Day. Also, please don't hold the door for people more than 5 about 15 feet, from you. They'll feel bad for making you hold it and feel like they have to run to catch the door. On escalators, moving sidewalks, stand on the right, walk on the left. And vice versa for pertinent countries. Sometimes I forget and get that look from someone trying to pass me. And sometimes I'll be standing on the right and people try to come up to a cross and I give them the look. Tiny one, but you're told that O is pronounced like F. What I wasn't told was that it's only pronounced like that until you encounter the word Stephen, then it's suddenly a V sound. Question mark. How's it going? It's going. Not drive around in a motorbike naked. Don't sit next to a stranger on the bus unless that's your only option. Don't steal the good chairs from the conference room for your desk. You can't cry in public. Semicolon. Just take crap from people because I work in customer service. I know that not everyone thinks this, but seriously, the people that do. You need pretend to have a list of movies you definitely need to watch. And that you add the movie your friend talks about since 30 minutes to that list. There is no list. There is never a list. When someone buys pizza for the office, take one slice the first time through the line. That way everyone gets at least one slice. There's always that idiot who takes 3 slices, then doesn't finish them and we run out. When to be quiet and when to speak up, especially if you want people to like you. It's a super easy set of rules to break, and usually you don't realize you've broken them until well after you've already done so, sometimes years after even. Literally all of them. Outside of written laws and international conventions. The problem is you're always playing on someone else's rules. So they can always change them and accuse you of breaking them. Everything depends on your ability to be social, likable, and popular. Thanking people who bring your drink or your meal, and then take that shit away when you're done. I'm embarrassed when I'm out with people who have never worked a job like this who carry on talking while another human being is tidying up their mess. Stay quiet during a bus or a train ride. It's always annoying to unintentionally hear people's conversations when you really just want to get to your destination. Always respect military veterans, even the ones who are massive dickheads. But he served for our count. I don't care, Cheryl, he tried to murder my sister, I'm not gonna instantly grovel to his knees. You're supposed to be interested in other people's comments in conversation. Also in conversations it's thought of as rude to disprove someone's thinking. I've heard it can make you sound condescending. Even if you're not trying to display that. Quick glance, never stare. Don't stick your dick in toasters. For the love of fuck, why can't I shit in the sink? Oh, there are so much. Someone older than me gets on the bus and expects me to give up my seat after 7 hours at school and 4-6 hours in job. Talking back, people don't usually expect 4 teenagers to defend themselves. Doing things my way. Don't tell people the truth they don't want to hear. Not the offensive one but something that you want to help them. And so much more. Wearing pants. Don't run around the streets in tie-dye clothes saying you're a wizard from the future. http://www.how-many-federal-laws-are-there%3f. TLER, no one fucking knows. Chances are they could put you in prison for the rest of your life for something you didn't know was illegal.